Rory from PCC here. We're going to do a quick tutorial regarding the servo flap unit on the R9T and its removal. The flap basically sits shut when the bike is at idle, and as you rev the throttle, the cables will pull it and allow the gases to come out and a little bit more noise to come out. By removing it, you will cause the bike no issues, no problems. There will be a fault code that will come up on the dash unless you fit a servo buddy unit. That basically just tells the bike everything's fine. So on the 14 to 16 models, you don't need that. I personally have still fitted the plug unit because I don't like to have an open plug somewhere where road grime and dirt and everything is going to go into the bike. On the 17, you will definitely need that because it will log a fault code. So I'm just going to show you how to do that now. A few simple tools, nothing much more really than a T30 and a T45 bit with a ratchet, a couple of pairs of snips so we can get rid of the wiring and the cable ties, and then you need a couple of parts including the servo flap delete pipe or eliminator pipe. Basically, when you remove the flap, everything comes out, and then you just put the eliminator pipe back in here, pop everything back together, and away we go. So I'm going to start by removing the exhaust silencer. That's a T40. That's going to come off. I'm then going to use the T45 to undo the two exhaust clamps. They'll come away, and then we'll take off the unit just simply using a T30 and the bolt here. So I'm going to get cracking. Let's see how we get on. As you can see at this stage, we've now removed the flap. Everything here stays in place. These are the two cables that are going to come eliminated. They're attached to the servo motor up here. So I'm just going to take that servo motor off using the T30. And once that's undone, you'll find a little peg up here, and this will just slide off like that. Now the only thing left to do is detach this plug. So I've got a small screwdriver for that. And away you can go. That can basically go in the bin now, or in a pile of box of bits to sell to the next user. Not needed anymore. Remember just to take these parts out because they're not needed anymore. We don't want them falling out on the road. Clear those out of the way. This is where we use our servo buddy unit, the plug-in unit, just to tell the bike that everything's okay still. Now, there's two schools of thought on this. We're quite lucky. This bike here has had everything taken out. We've done one of our airbox removals on it. So what I would be inclined to do on this is to snip all the way along here and refeed this back up and just clip it on the inside in front of the brake hoses. The alternative, if you've still got the airbox on there, it's no problem. What you'll find, if you just plug this unit in, like this, bring it forward and tuck it in, and it will nestle really neatly here, just behind the starter motor. A couple of cable ties on here, and it's nice and clean out the way. Obviously, when the airbox is there, you won't see any of this wiring. So that's on now, that's fine. We will cable tie that up shortly. The next part we need to do is simply pop the pipe in. So this replaces the flap, it's the exact same dimension. There are a couple of different companies who make these. You can find them on our website by searching for eliminator or servo flap delete, something along those lines, and it will pop up straight away. Pop that in there. I tend to just nip up these brackets. It's always nice to have the brackets tucked up and out of the way, so when it's on the bike you can't see the bolt on the back. I tend to just nip that up. When you're doing anything exhaust related, it's sometimes better not to tighten each bolt as you get to it, because what you might find is that you won't be able to then meet the sort of final mounting point. Mount everything up first loosely and then go back through and tighten it all up. When we're doing these, we're doing them at 20 Newton meters down here with the T45, and when we come to do the exhaust mount bolt at the top, that's again 20 Newton meters on the T40. So come down to the T45 and the second clamp. Just make sure these clamps are butted up nice and tight. You won't have any issues there, and you won't have any leakage. And again, using a torque wrench, this is probably, I'm going to say, the most important tool in our workshop, to be honest. 20 Newton meters, and just go round until you get that reassuring click. One there. One there. In this job, you can keep it on the same torque setting, just change over to a T40, back up the top, and around we go. That's everything fitted. You can see there's a much cleaner space here, much cleaner space here. Opens the back of the bike up. It'll make the bike sound a little bit better, and it will lose some unnecessary weight. So for us, it's a real simple, quick, easy mod that makes a big difference.